blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, this is your brother Dan Moses, or say, your Sakodi of TRC, Ghana, coming to you with the continuation of our expose, Testimony, New World Disorder. But before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying, Akwaba, Allen, Sahalen, Shagitam, welcome, Igandoni, Benvindo, you are welcome. Kuso, Diwo, Tusanyu Senyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Boye, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, No, O Sanu, De Zua, Enkwang de Hena, Mitash, Duburo, Pezaluvat, Bine Al Binit, Barigarus, Bita Iche, Ayubon, Dobridoya, welcome, Istan, Hozut, Walang, Aluman, bienvenido, Namaste, Swagetam, Kus, Hamadid, Baruch, Haba, Marhaba, Huangyong Haminida, Huangying, Nyejeko, Anime, Nyejeko, Wezolo, Novio, Mia, Wezo, Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. Testimony, New World Disorder is the program through we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies that are made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world. Yet, for almost 2 decades now, in worship of the extremely dangerous U.S. undercover agent Daniel Jezebel Babylon Caesar, these treacherous forces have dealt with that by willful lie, deception, and delusion. And they have brought America, Ghana, and the nations of the into this global helplessness with their ulterior agenda pursuing, being an agenda to seek to take over the souls of the entire human race, with Ghana and America being the center of the global evil pursuit. The government of Nana Addo Dankwa, Mahmoud Bawumia, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, traitors within the office of the Secretary General, they are pursuing that agenda. They are using lots of ugly tactics from preventing us to know who are the agenda they are pursuing at the expense of our souls. Let's not be diverted by all that is happening in the world. Let's be more concerned about our souls and where we like to spend eternity. Therefore, don't let the soul thieves, soul takers take ownership of your soul and lead you to damnation and hellfire. Make sure you give your soul over to the owner of your soul, the maker of your soul, the owner of your life. Christ Jesus is my Lord and He is the owner of my soul. According to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. This is expose part 31. Taking back our franchise and our nation. Part 31. Being recorded on the 12th of November 2024. May the precious soul of His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings rest with the just God. His precious soul was taken by the cowardly secret killers through medical terrorism, the vindictive and haters, traitors in Ghana on the 12th of November 2020. May His precious soul rest with the just God. Ghana and the nations of the world. Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. Humanity, we are getting into a point where we would have to put to use our redeemed mind, our brain that God put in our heads, because the traitors within the office of the Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden administration, and the Nana Addo Bawumia government, the Supreme Court of Ghana, they have, and the Electoral Commission of Ghana, Jane Mensah and her cliques, they have purpose to subvert the will of God. That is why I told, concerning the Ghanaian people, that is why I told the American people that we have not, the agenda is not, our mission is not finished yet by taking back our franchise in America, taking over our nation, taking victory on the behalf of John Donald Trump. It is not over yet. It is now our mission. We have a mission to take over our franchise and our nation, Ghana, for the perfect and pleasing will of God. We should not allow this franchise thief to subvert the will of God. Ghana, you see, in the year 2016, when God has given Trump the victory, being that I stood with him and my enemies, the worshipper of the extremely dangerous U.S. undercover agent, saw that if I would not allow for Hillary Clinton to be imposed on the American people, then and they have Trump has taken victory, what they would do is they would subvert the will of God and take the throne of Ghana for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo arch enemy. That's going to be for 8 years. By which time our children will be 16, 17, they would have manipulated them to say, forget about your father, you don't need your father in your life anymore. So that was the agenda, and then they will use the 8 years to further their the crime covering of the undercover agents and their crimes against Ghana and humanity. So when God gave Trump victory, the American victory in 2016, in a way, the traitors within the office of the Secretary General, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, the terror network for Nana Addo Dankwa for the traitors in Ghana, it made it, they consider it more easier, because if God has taken the throne of America and given to His Excellency Trump, then they will play smart on what the Ghanaian politicians know to be something we call winner takes all. The international that Ghanaians know the winner takes all, and sometimes they know the anti aspect of the winner takes all is they call it skirt and blouse. You understand? But international dimension of it, I'll make it simple. All it means is once Donald Trump has taken victory, then they have the justification, the worshipper of the dangerous US and undercover agent, to rob the throne of Ghana and give it to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for 8 years, in the nonsense that the symbol of the Republican Party is an elephant. So once the Republican Party have won the elections in Ghana, then it has made it easier. They should rob the throne of Ghana and give it to the Republicans have won the throne of America. They should rob the throne of Ghana and give it to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for the 8 years agenda. So in a way, if I pushed and God put Trump on the throne of America legitimately, then I have rather made it easier for the traitors in Ghana to rob the franchise of the Ghanaian people, and they did with everything against law. They played the Ghanaian people, robbed them under the guise of the power, and had their own way. Ghana, you see, because where we are getting to, we need to be a very smart people and thinking people, because we are being played by the forces, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden administration, the traitors in the office of the Secretary General, and the Nana Addo Bawumia government. The same way that they played us in 2006, they want to do the same thing to us again. They want to play smart by claiming that I have rather caused an opportunity to be open for them to rob the Ghanaian people of their franchise one more time. I've been telling her that it was an agenda to put Kamala Harris on the throne of America, and then they will put Mahmoud Bawumia. So in America, like they have put my enemy, and in Ghana they have put my enemy, so that they would at all costs pin me down for another 8 years. But when it went to Donald Trump, my special friend, they say, well, anyway, you have also made it easier for us. We are still under the guise of the winner takes all. Put Mahmoud Bawumia on the throne of Ghana for 8 years. Now, Ghana, let's listen to this. That is why the moment Trump won the elections, we had Mahmoud Bawumia trying to make a fool of the Ghanaian people, to push the agenda to rob the throne of Ghana for him for 8 years, by telling the Ghanaian people that when God had given victory to the American people, they have taken back their nation and taken back their franchise. He is interpreting it in animal symbol. Animal, an elephant has won in America, so the elephant will win in Ghana, and he will be imposed on the throne of Ghana. That is the same. That is the exact agenda that I was saying to us over and over, that they intend. So they want to claim that I have made it easier, just like the 2000. So they want to go by the same treachery in 2016. This is no doing of Trump or no doing of the American people. It is the worshippers of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Antonio Guterres, Nana Addo Bawumia government. Now, in order for them to play us beyond our understanding, we have seen this taking place in Ghana. You see, Mahamudu Bawumia knows that there is the agenda to rob the Ghanaian people of our franchise for 8 years for him. And it is not for, just like they did in 2016 for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We must remember Ghana, that Mahamudu Bawumia went to the northern Ghana and told the noble people of the north, played an ugly political card against them, religious and tribal card against them, told them that his opponent, which is John Dramani Mahama, if he wins the Ghana in the election 2024, he's a Northerner, and he, Mahamudu Bawumia, is a Northerner. So he has only 4 years mandate. That is John Dramani Mahama. But he, Mahamudu Bawumia, it will be 8 years. So it means that the presidency will be with the people of the north for 8 years. So don't vote for John Dramani Mahama. Vote for Mahamudu Bawumia. Ghana. Did Mahamudu Bawumia say this? And we don't know that it is the same agenda that they put Akufo-Addo for 8 years on the throne of Ghana in 2016. That is what the Supreme Court, the Electoral Commission, the Joe Biden Kamala Harris administration, traitors within the office of the secretary, those that have been killing our people for. It is that agenda that they have started unfolding before our face. Now, Ghana, we want to prove to them that there is a brain in our heads, and we will not let them fool us all the time. If we remember, they had to, after 2016 robbing of our franchise, in order for them to take over the nation Ghana, the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Mahamudu Bawumia, and run the government behind the scene, the office of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. In order for them to take over Ghana, make Ghana a protectorate state, a street state, a banana republic, a nation which cannot protect itself, provide for itself, but that a nation that has sold her sovereignty to another nation to take over the sovereignty and the ownership of the life of the people. A street state. They have to make Ghana like that, so that the traitors within the office of the Secretary General, the Joe Biden Kamala Harris administration, they shall own Ghana and run Ghana while there is a president called Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as their puppet. For them to succeed in doing that, I was blowing the trumpet to the American people that the putting of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on the throne was 8 years under. Even before the 2016 elections, if they put the Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton on the throne of America, it's going to be 8 years. So the American people should not yield. So the moment they succeeded and stole the throne of Ghana for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo under the guise of the 2016 national elections, they took Ghana hostage and must play the Ghanaian people not for us to know that Ghana is run, is owned, has become a protectorate state by the worship at the hands of the worshipper of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. And we are foreigners in our own nation, and we are owned by them. And the government is a puppet government at their hands. They had to let Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo play a religious card against the Ghanaian people by telling the Ghanaian people that for them to brainwash us as though every evil that they will do to the Ghanaian people under the Nana Addo Bawumia government for 8 years, that is God approved. So they made the Nana Addo Bawumia government play religious card against us and tell us that it was God, that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised that if God give him the throne of Ghana, he will build a cathedral for him. So if he's building a cathedral for God, that means God put him in office. Ghanaians will throw our weight behind, and the issue of the robbing our franchise will be dead. it will be dead. We will not expose them, and will not know that they are taking over the rulership of Ghana, the ownership of the nation Ghana, and the government of Ghana is a puppet. They're doing their will, their ugly bit in covering up of their 8 years, almost 20 years of heinous crimes against Ghana and humanity. So they told the Nana Addo Bawumia government, now they must play smart. They will need the executive, judiciary, and the legislature of Ghana, all the three arms of government, to be held captive before they can advance their agenda and do as they please in Ghana. So the National Cathedral, after playing the religious card against Ghana, making Ghana think that God's brought Akufo-Addo into the power, and God wants him to build a cathedral for him. That cathedral must be built in Accra. Nowhere in Accra, but a particular spot. That spot was to their second agenda, to take over the judiciary of Ghana. They want to test the pulse, take ownership, cripple the judiciary. So they told them, go and break down all the judiciary residents, break them down, and tell the judiciary tell the Ghanaian people, that is where God wants him to build a cathedral. They tested the pulse of the judiciary to see whether they have teeth in their mouth, and they realized that, oh, you see, it's not the ordinary Ghanaian that is religiously susceptible. Even the educated judges, they are more susceptible than anybody else in Ghana, because they broke down their houses, they couldn't say a word. And then they started filling the Supreme Court of Ghana with the political affiliates of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's political party, so that after the first 4 years, they will rig the election. When they go to the Supreme Court, then they have taken over the Supreme Court and force the second 4-year mandate and give Ghana, so they might have achieved their 8 years agenda. The same thing that Mahamudu Bawumia went to stand at the northern Ghana and was making a fool of the northerners, noble people of the north, that when I come, it is for 8 years. Who told him that the mandate given to the Ghanaian people, any president, is 8 years? There are traitors in America at the White House who were pushing that agenda. Ghana, acquired to the program, testimony, New World this way. That is why we have seen the Supreme Court with unthinkable impunity. When the majority in Parliament has clearly shifted according to this constitution, which even school children can read and understand, that the majority has shifted by people so-called by parliamentary candidates defecting to stand as independent candidates. The Supreme Court must take over the issue and do their ugly bit to still seek to take over the ownership of the parliament, while they are taking over the judiciary and the executive. So the agenda to impose Mahamudu Bawumia on the throne of Ghana would be done at all costs, whether the Ghanaian people like it or not. They will go ahead and do it. You see, Ghana is a nation which I pray, I long, and I desire that we shall come to a point where the Muslim, the Christian, the traditionalist, no matter which part of the nation we come from, no matter our gender, our educational status, we shall have our respected places, our deserved places in our own nation, and not be treated as foreigners in our own land as garbage, as trash, because of the religion that somebody belongs to, because of somebody's gender, because of the certain part of the nation that somebody comes from. Ghana, a true believer in God would not shut up when an evil is being done against the Muslim, when an evil is being done against the Christian, when an evil is being done against the Judaist, when an evil is being done against the Rastafarian, when an evil is being done against the worshipper and the non-worshipper, a fellow human being, when an evil is being done against, he will not say, this person does not belong to my religious sect, so I will keep quiet for the evil to go on. Ghana, we are being dealt with treacherously, religiously, by the worshippers of an extremely dangerous US undercover agent. They want to turn us against each other on religious grounds. Have told us how the anti-Semitic agenda that they are pushing in worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent nearly led to the killing of Trump on the 13th of July 2024. And I have blown the whistle that if we look at the Electoral Commission closely, the composition of the presidential candidate, while he has relegated everybody, has led the 13, it was all in furthering of the agenda in worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent to impose Mahamudu Bawumia on our throne. I've told us. And that when I told us, the Electoral Commission started orchestrating to increase the number or to decrease it. They are all here in this exposés. Now, being that they could not contain their shame, that hatred and vindictiveness led them to almost kill Donald Trump. Guess what the Electoral Commission has done? What they have done as at this day. When one of the presidential candidates, Honorable Bernard Mona, his party has contended for presidential candidates for the presidency. Not be the first time, but because of the push of that agenda 13, they relegated every presidential candidate and relegated this man. This man took his case to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court knows that agenda is sealed. So they threw out the case of Bernard Bon. Otherwise, the number would have increased to 14. They knew that I've exposed them here. If they increase it to 14, their shame is there. If they reduce it, their shame has come. So, guess what they did? Ghana has become the most dangerous nation upon the earth because of how diabolical some of the politicians have become. Suddenly, because they wanted every criminal means to change the number from 13. So, you know what they did? To the shock of Ghanaians, we were told that one of the presidential candidates has died suddenly, just like that. Therefore, his running mate, her running mate, because I don't call me here, so rest in peace. Her running mate must now have the opportunity to become the presidential candidate. Guess what the EC has done as at this day, the 12th of November 2024. The EC has told the Ghanaian people quickly that Bernard Mona has been relegated. He has been disqualified after her presidential candidate has been eliminated from life quietly. So if he has been relegated, then it means that the intent to reduce the presidential candidate from 13 to 12 should be easier and obvious. Is that not so? But they know that that is a shame on them, international reproach on them. So the EC told the Ghanaian people, okay, the Bernard Mona has been disqualified. But however, the positioning of the presidential candidates on the ballot would not change. If they were 13 and one is out, how many does it become? Why wouldn't? If they change it, God has shamed them. If they don't change it, God has shamed them. So no matter what they do, they are exposed by God on the behalf of the Ghanaian people. On this same 12th of we'll continue next. Let's say let's end here. We'll continue. There is brain in our head. We will not let them fool us all the time. They are exposed. God bless you. And God bless my homeland Ghana. Total shame on the Supreme Court of Ghana. The worshippers of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Antonio Guterres, all of you. Ghana, we are taking back our nation and our franchise. God bless us all. Bye bye.